JBN will keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, alleged one-down boss, black man and 3 others found guilty in murder of St. Catherine couple. Chief Justice Brian Sykes has found the reputed leader of the one-down gang, Andre Blackman Bryan, guilty in relation to 2 more criminal charges. The verdicts were handed down Monday morning when proceedings resumed in the Home Circuit Court. The Crown, in opening its case on September 20 last year, said that incident, which is reflected in counts 7 and 8 on the 25-count indictment, was part of the crimes committed between 2015 and 2019 that are attributable to the gang. This act was said to be carried out by the accused, Andre Blackman Bryan, the alleged gang leader, and co-accused Fabian Johnson, Dylan McLean, Brian Morris, Michael Whiteley, Tyreek James, and Jazeel Blake. Bryan has been found guilty of knowingly facilitating the gang's double murder of a couple in New Nursery Fisheries, St. Catherine, and the setting of their house on fire in September 2017. His co-defendants, Jazeel Blake, Dylan McLean, and Tyreek James, were also found guilty of knowingly facilitating the commission of murder by a criminal organization. The 4 men were also convicted of knowingly facilitating arson of a dwelling house. At the same time, 2 alleged members, Brian Morris and Michael Whiteley, were found not guilty for facilitating the gang's commission of the double murder and arson. The couple, Jermaine Bryan and Cedella Walder, were murdered on September 9, 2017. The gangsters torched a house with the couple inside after shooting them. Their bodies, which were burnt beyond recognition, were found huddled together. 2 self-confessed murderers of the gang had testified that Bryan had planned the attack during a search for a man known as Bubba Sparks, an alleged top shooter for a rival faction of the gang and community dawn of fisheries. The prosecution's 2 main witnesses had also testified that before the attack, Bryan held a meeting on Jones Avenue in Spanish Town. One of the ex-gangsters, who was the gang's banker, said that during the meeting, Bryan instructed him to patrol the roads in the community to ensure that no police were in sight, and also that he had observed a crate of bottle bombs during the gathering. The other former top-tier member had testified that he was present during the attack and saw James and Bryan executing the couple. However, while the former community don had testified about the presence of moonlight and electricity enabling him to see the men, the other made no mention of lighting. As a result, the judge found that he could not accept the evidence regarding the identification of the 3 men the witness said he saw. Consequently, the 3 defendants were found not guilty. However, the judge has indicated that the men are not in the clear, as the evidence against them will be used in determining whether they are a member of the gang. 26 alleged gangsters, including Bryan, are still before the court, as 24 of them still have to answer to being a member of a criminal organization, while Bryan has to answer to leadership of the gang. Businessman murdered in Palmer's Cross, Clarendon. A businessman was gunned down along Mac Corner in Palmer's Cross, Clarendon, on Sunday night. He has been identified as 40-year-old O'Neill Rooms, also known as D, of Kennedy Lane in Palmer's Cross. Police reports have stated that about 8 p.m., Rooms was sitting on a wall in front of his shop eating ice cream when he was pounced upon by men on foot armed with handguns. Rooms reportedly ran and was chased by the men, who opened gunfire, hitting him in the head and upper body. He died on the spot, the police say. Sources have disclosed that the murder occurred in the vicinity of a church crusade. Less than 2 weeks ago, 6 people, including a police officer, were shot and injured at an event in Palmer's Cross. The police say there has been an increase in criminal activities in the Palmer's Cross area, which prompted the imposition of a 48-hour curfew in the community last month. According to the police, permits to host entertainment events in Palmer's Cross are not being granted up to July 1. The parish of Clarendon has seen a 157.1% increase in murders up to February 28, having recorded 18 murders when compared to 7 homicides for the 2022 corresponding period. Gun and ammunition seized in Trenchtown, men in custody. 2 men are now in custody after a team of officers assigned to the Kingston Western Police Division seized 1 illegal gun along with 35 rounds of ammunition during an operation on Sunlight Street, Trenchtown, Kingston 12 on Sunday, March 5. Their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. Reports from the Denham Town Police are that about 3:20 p.m., lawmen were in the area when a premises occupied by 2 men was searched. During the search, 1 Taurus pistol and 35 9mm rounds of ammunition were found. JCF investigating physical altercation between cop and JDF member. Senior officers of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF and the Jamaica Defence Force JDF are to meet today following an altercation between soldiers and the police on Sunday night, which was caught on video. A media release from the JCF on Monday said an investigation has been launched into the matter, and Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Area 4, Donovan Graham, will meet with his senior JDF counterparts later today to discuss the incident and bring the matter to resolution. The incident occurred at a security checkpoint on Hannah Street in West Kingston and has sparked outrage among other members of the JCF. The policeman involved in the incident has reportedly filed a formal complaint accusing a soldier of assault. However, an account from the JDF reportedly states that the policeman failed to stop at the checkpoint when instructed, was aggressive, and hurled threats at the JDF members. The soldiers also reportedly reminded the policeman that while driving his private car, he is subject to be searched, but he continued acting boisterously. In its release on Monday, the JCF said this incident does not reflect the current excellent working relationship and collaboration that exists between the JDF and the JCF. We remain committed to working together at the JDF to maintain law and order and to serve our communities. We urge our members as well as the public to remain calm as we investigate this matter, it said. It added that it will take the necessary steps to ensure a speedy resolution and to maintain the high levels of cooperation that currently exist. Man reporting on condition of bail charge for breaches of the Firearms Act. A Trelawney farmer was arrested and charged for breaches of the Firearms Act when he reported as a condition of his bail in another matter at the Falmouth Police Station on Saturday, March 4, charged with shooting with intent, possession of prohibited weapon, and the use of a prohibited weapon to commit a felony, is 29-year-old Washane Campbell, otherwise called T-Man, of Bounty Hall in the parish. Reports are that Campbell was involved in a dispute with another family member on Wednesday, March 1, when he left the location and returned with a gun. He allegedly chased the family member and fired several shots at him. The man managed to escape injury and reported the incident to the police. Campbell was subsequently arrested and charged. His court date is being finalized. Vybz Kartel jury sentencing postponed again. Sentencing has once again been postponed for Livingston Kane, the jury accused of offering $500,000 to the jury foreman to influence other jurors to return a not guilty verdict in the murder trial against dancehall artist Vybz Kartel. It was postponed again Monday in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court when it was revealed that the social inquiry report requested by defense lawyers was not prepared. Kane will be brought back to court on Wednesday when it is expected the social inquiry report will be available. He was remanded until then. Kane was found guilty of perverting the course of justice in December and was scheduled for sentencing Friday, but the matter was postponed when it was revealed that he was admitted to the hospital for an undisclosed illness. Kane was on bail for 8 years. However, it was revoked by Parish Judge Maxine Ellis on December 13. He is represented by defense attorney Valrenita Robertson, KC. Given name Adisha Palmer, Kartel was ultimately found guilty, along with Kiara Jones, Andre St. John, and Sean Campbell, for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams in August 2011 at a house in Avondale, St. Andrew. Trial of co-accused in Sikiana murder case failed to get off the ground. The trial of security guard Ron Rose, otherwise called Early B, who is charged in connection with the murder of social media personality Anika Sikiana Townsend, failed to get off the ground on Monday. When the matter was called up in the St. James Circuit Court earlier today, the Crown told the court that the matter could not be dealt with today. A mentioned date was set by Justice Andrea Thomas for April 26. The 47-year-old security guard is charged with misprision of a felony. This means he is accused of knowing about the matter but failed to notify the authorities. Rose is currently on bail. His co-accused, Roshan Patterson, was charged by the police with murder. Patterson, who remains in custody, is booked to reappear in court on Thursday, March 9. On October 21, Townsend's scantily clad body was retrieved from the scene Reading between St. James and Hanover. Patterson is accused of strangling her to death. According to the police, Townsend had travelled from Kingston to Montego Bay, which was picked up by Patterson at approximately 7:30 p.m. on October 20. During the evening, they visited a restaurant in Hanover and a guest house in St. James. At some point during the night, An argument reportedly developed between them, which resulted in Patterson reportedly strangling Townsend and disposing of her body. Commuters stranded following roadblock in Portland. Residents of Ferry Hill in eastern Portland mounted roadblocks earlier today along the main road at Poinciana Park in protest over a prolonged dust nuisance, the absence of pipe water and bad roads. The residents took to the street from as early as 5:30 a.m. using old refrigerators, downed trees, and boulders to mount the blockade, leaving many commuters, including students, stranded. Several students attending Titchfield High, Port Antonio High, and Happy Grove returned home, while persons attached to the country's workforce were also held up in the blockade. The roadblocks were mounted along different sections of the roadway. If we nail this us every day, by no time we're going to just drop our going and dead, so we're asking some help, resident Christopher Senior pleaded. We're asking if you come in and just come on board and try to assist us in every way. We need a good road, which is not a carry out road project, but we soon not take things for granted. We need water, more than some water, we need a whole heap of water, he added. The residents say they have not had water in the community for at least a month, and whenever the road is wet, it dries quickly and the dust nuisance returns. The road in the community is being worked on as part of the Southern Coastal Highway project, but it has not yet been paved. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.